Oh, that was horrendous. All right, let's stay vertical on this one. Bang. I don't know if it's just the colors, but it just feels way more lopey than like the Effect Tour. For me, this one's way smoother and rounder off of it, but just, and again, it could just be the colors and the logos, but it just feels like that one's down the lane, almost like the Forges, but.
So that one's, that one's a little tumbly then?
It feels really tumbly.
Okay.
Like the black Venom felt like it, although it was early and smooth, but it felt like it got there a lot easier than this one. It didn't look like it was, and again, it could be just the colors, but it didn't look like it was fighting to change directions as it was going down the lane.
Like it wasn't slowing down as much?
Right.
Okay.
That's what it felt like.
The MOTIV Lethal Venom is of course already available, but we had Riley out for a filming session and got a lot of good stuff with a lot of different balls, and this one is recent enough that I thought we'd go on ahead and do a review. You know by now that I'm the tech guy that shoots you straight, all about the ball reaction, so let's get into it. The Lethal Venom features the cover from the Sub-Zero Forge and Evoke, and the core from the Black Venom and Blue Coral. 247RG, 036 differential, and an 013 int diff in 15 pounds, so it's in the mild ASIM territory with the Ion Pro, NV Tour, and Hammer Effect Tour. Pretty strong cover though. Leverage MXC at 3000 grit makes this a fairly strong ball despite its placement in the light to medium oil category. Imagine a moderately stronger, mildly asymmetric Venom shock, and I think that's where we're at. Not quite as strong as the NV Tour, but stronger than any other ball in the category as far as I'm concerned, and it does live up to its name on the shape. It's the heavy rolling, archy, climbing reaction that definitely resembles a shock, but also definitely reminds me of the Sub-Zero with the earlier, slower reaction. Obviously, for higher rev rates, it's able to cover a fair amount of boards, and even more so with Riley's more medium speed. This won't be typical for most people that don't rev it up like this, but being that it has a more continuous climbing shape, slower speeds or people who can successfully drop their speed will be able to cover a lot of ground as well with an adjustment or two. Now, of course, that's not really the point with a ball like this, but it's not really a ball review if you don't say that a ball's versatile, right? Or that it revs up well in the mid lane. It is, however, not super clean, and it doesn't turn sideways on the back end, but once again, neither of those things are the point of a ball like this. It's supposed to be early, smooth, strong, and controllable, and it fits that description well. It seems very much like the shock for the first half of the lane, strong and heavy rolling, but it doesn't dig in too early while it turns into the Sub-Zero on the back end with a very patient, stable, authoritative move into the pins. When he lets go of the ball, you just feel like it's going to hit the pocket, even when it doesn't, because it just oozes control and stability. Outside of the original Evoke, I'm not sure there's another reactive ball on the market that manages the lane and the pocket this well. I feel like it even resembles a weaker Jackal Onyx also. This ball especially is of course going to be tougher conditions on the fresh where you need to control the wet-dry and where getting to the pocket is the ultimate objective. Now, the point of a ball like this, being a mild ASIM, is not just to help you get to the pocket, but get the pins down. I think that's why balls like this have taken over from the IQ Tours and the Web Tours of the world. Even for higher rev rates, you don't necessarily need the extra torque, but torque isn't just relegated to aiding back-end reaction. It creates a stronger motion and more stability, as well as a firmer and more consistent, but not necessarily just sharper reaction down lane. The Venom Shock is somewhat of a unicorn because you still see it being used, while those other balls can just be a little too clean and slow, IQ Tour, Web Tour, and actually less stable than a ball like the Lethal. The Lethal is more of a step up from the Shock if it's too clean or weak, or you need a little more control down lane, because I think, surprisingly, the Lethal is still even a bit smoother. Revamping the ads a bit here because I have a lot of sponsors that are the reason you all keep getting to see videos. I couldn't do what I do without them, and there's a lot of links and discounts in the description to check out so that you can pick up some of the same stuff I use and recommend. In addition to the stuff on the screen, I've really liked a lot of the things I've been using from Genesis. The chamois variety, the K-Motion tape has really helped my elbow tendonitis. The Sport 3-ball mod roller that I didn't expect to like but really do. And the Sync Hybrid silver tape that is smooth like black tape but still has some grip like white tape. I still use and love the Nexus backpack, discount link in the description for that. And if you're going to buy bowling supplies from an online retailer, follow the link in the description to Bowler's Mart, and that will also indirectly support me. We're going to compare the Lethal to both the Hammer Effect Tour and Ion Pro at the same time, because why not? That won't be confusing. Despite being very similar in design and build, their core numbers are all virtually identical. They each have a specific direction that they lean. The Lethal is the strongest of the three, plus the earliest and the smoothest. The next step down on strength is the Effect Tour, definitely cleaner down the lane and weaker overall, but still very smooth and blendy down lane. The weakest is the Ion Pro, but it's also the cleanest and the sharpest. I think it's very possible to have all three of these working together, because I think you can already see that they're fairly different. The Effect Tour and Ion Pro, I think, are the closest to each other. The Lethal is the most different from the other two, as it's quite a bit earlier and heavier or stronger rolling. Effect Tour and Ion Pro are both fairly clean, but still separate themselves on back-end reaction. If you want to carry a more limited bag, you might be best served with the Lethal and then either the Effect or Ion, depending on if you want cleaner and weaker but still smooth like the Effect, or if you want to step down from the Lethal but with more motion down lane. Very buttery reaction out of the Effect Tour, but quite a bit more pop out of the Ion Pro. I think they all have pretty distinct uses and complement each other well. The Lethal is best used on the fresh when traction and control is at a premium. The Effect is a step down from when the Lethal starts getting too early, strong, or smooth, and the Ion is going to be the cleanest and the sharpest to still keep you in this zone or type of ball reaction for mid to later stages of transition. Once again, please remember to check out everything in the description if you want good jerseys, good bags, good accessories, and everything in between. The Lethal Venom is available now, and I have a special in-depth live commentary discussion and comparison of all the balls featured in this video that's coming soon in a separate video. There's a lot of it. This video was brought to you by Panda Bear Productions. We put the in bowling. Thanks for watching, and may the strikes be with you.